one.
Oh, kill me now.
I mean, this is the ultimate harem anime.
I know.
This is the ultimate. You get an equal amount of hot women and hot men.
I know.
Okay, and this. Oh, go ahead. No, I'll let you guys.
All right. So
I
honestly, quite frankly, I was like surprised how like just generally like open at least the show was, like as far as like the what was it, like the female characters clearly having a crush on Katarina. Like you do not see that often, and I appreciated it all the more for it.
Like
so
fly the gay pride flag, people.
Yeah, basically. Like and all the romance novels that like Katarina read where there was like prince on prince or like
princess on princess.
Yeah, basically. We're just like, whoa, wave that flag, why don't you?
Yeah, it was. That's the other thing. There's a little something for everyone.
Exactly.
There's a bookworm, there's a baker, there's a prince, there's a musician, there's the strong and silent type, there's the kind of bad boy-ish.
Yeah.
Wait, which one did you call him bad boy?
The hidden route.
Kind
of.
Yeah,
like he qualifies technically as the bad boy, but he's also redeemed, so he's like reformed. I don't know. You know, and there's the best friend from like young age. I mean, you get a little bit of everything. It's, you know, super nice.
Sorry.
You good?
Born is stepping away for a moment. All right, we're back.
Yeah, so sorry, buddy. That was a IT problem.
Technical issues.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna now rain on a.
Wait, hold on. First, hold on. Vaughn, do you have anything nice to say about the story?
Do you mean the main story plot line or like this
plot line? Yeah,
everything.
Writing wise,
story wise.
Nice. I do like the interactions between characters. It's very nice. Like the comedy, like it might end up falling flat after a second watch, but like I don't expect to watch this a second time. I expect myself to read the book a couple of times, not watch the show. Like that's how it is for me. So the comedy is perfect and on point for me. I don't like NikNak watched it a second time, so we know how that goes.
I watched it a second time too.
Yeah.
But I'm also capable of watching things twice in a row.
You know, because NikNak here is such an intellectual.
I am though, aren't I? Much more intelligent than you pig-brained people.
I'm a pig brain. What does that make you?
Those are the vibes I'm getting from NikNak here.
Watch, everyone picture it in your head. He's got like an antique fan and he's fluttering it in front of his face while looking down upon you from a higher pedestal, going, oh.
Yeah.
He's the kind of woman that we tie behind the carriage and drag.
I actually have one of those at my house somewhere.
Yeah, so do I. Doesn't mean I'm gonna pull it out for you. Keep your sacrilegious ohs away. Okay, I don't think Realm and I have much more. I mean, like, we're not calling this the show of the century.
No.
Like, this is in no way a masterpiece.
No,
you know,
it's very well done for what it is.
Yeah, this is like a $5 rom-com you buy at the airport that turns out to be good.
This is like that hidden gem you just find and you're like, oh my god, I really like this. Like,
seek him out, the diamond in the rough.
All right, you guys ready for me to take this discussion in a direction Sehkie didn't see coming?
Go ahead.
Do you remember my primary criticism with a lot of the story of T.H.E no Hitman Reborn?
What was it again?
Every episode felt the need to include almost every character, almost every episode at least, where it's like you'd go through an episode and then suddenly the two completely irrelevant characters would just happen to be there because they wanted to have them all in to get their running gags in the episode. I had similar things going. There were similar things going on here where I think the most egregious one was that summer episode where they're off to a summer and they're like, why don't we pick up everyone?
Oh no, but that
was the gag.
I know, but that was specifically a joke about how he was trying to take her on a date.
Then they do it again in the library.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that library one specifically.
I love the library one.
I believe they do it again in the sleepover.
I love how when they get to the final character, which was Nicola, it's just silence, and you're like, all right, he's already tagging along. We know this.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of every character needs to say their piece in every scene. Like the last part where she's collapsed in bed. And they're like all there, like, Katerina! 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 It makes
Katerina.
On a first watch, I didn't mind it as much, and I'll get into what appealed to me on that first watch through. On second watch through, it was a lot more grating on my nerves, I've got to admit.
Yeah, this is also my issue with the plot.
But I kind of see this as so, unfortunately, I could admit to this on camera, since I'm not using my real name and people don't know me. But
we know you.
I used to play this thing called My Candy Love.
Otome games.
Basically, it was like an online Otome game. And the thing with Otome games, and this is very obviously modeled to resemble an Otome game in the way it plays out, is that no matter what chapter of the story you're in, you will always meet every single character. Like, period. They will all interact with you, because the point is that you have to make good or bad moves and fill up their attraction meter, whatever they're calling it in this, but on My Candy Love, it was their affection meter or something.
Oh, I'm sure, but the thing is that just because it's standard doesn't make it good.
But the point I'm making is I think this is part of them trying to make this anime look like the Otome game that it was.
I get it, but I also this is a problem I didn't necessarily say during the episode itself, during the Fate Stay Night 2006 episode.
Mm-hmm.
Part of why every scene feels so blockily like chunked is because it's trying to resemble the original visual novel, where it's like you're talking to a character, frame, switch to the other character, but it affects how the story is presented. It affects how you intake the story, and it doesn't affect it in a good way. I find I don't necessarily like that in anime.
See, but I don't have
a different medium.
I don't have a problem with that so long as it's done well. And I think in this case, this was the least painful way they could have done that.
Yeah, the problem with that is like you're trying to do it all first person for the character's eyes. This was more third person with like
cutscenes.
Slight
this
bits
was
of
cutscenes,
first.
basically.
Yeah.
And I mean, I see where you're coming from, but at the same time, I can kind of forgive that in my own mind because this is trying to resemble an Otome game in a lot of ways. And I think it just adds that little extra bit of like, yeah, this would actually happen. Like, that's just what happens. I mean, you meet everybody.
It would be easier for me to forgive if this were an adaptation of an actual Otome game.
I know, but...
And if it were a one-off gag mocking the Otome game tendency, I might have forgiven it. But it's a call in almost a parody of it that doesn't actually escape from the trope.
Yeah, the problem though is if you actually read like web novels or light novels based on Otome games, like it doesn't actually have to have an Otome game made. It just has to be like something about Otome game. They will pretty much like do this exact same thing, and it's pretty much almost par standard now.
Yeah,
I find.
Yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot of other Otome game adaptation. Oh, actually, I've seen a couple. I've actually seen a couple now. I didn't think about that, but I have. And yeah, actually, so Kiss Him Not Me, I watch, and that's an Otome game adaptation. It does the exact same thing. It pulls every character in every single chapter because you have to get them all interacting with the main character.
That though, then that also it doesn't make me feel better about the show. It makes me feel worse about the genre.
Also, I've just realized, so I watched Kiss Him Not Me, and Kiss Him Not Me does the same kind of thing where it's like the girl and, well, it's not exactly the same, but it's the girl and wanting everyone to pair up and be friends, but like not with her because that's not part of this.
Oh, the friendship ending.
Yeah, and everyone trying to like date her and be with her.
That's the true Doom ending where everyone is trying to get her.
By all means, in an actual Otome game, that'd be considered a neutral ending.
Yeah, in Kiss Him Not Me, it does the same thing. By the way, you will have to watch Kiss Him Not Me. It will go in the hat. Actually, it's already in there.
If it's at least funny enough, I'll probably enjoy it on first watch through. But
Kiss Him Not Me is a lot funnier than this.
Okay, that's
good.
It.
Yeah.
That's
that.
It's hard because there is a reason I actually like the show on first watch through. One particular reason that I think I'll get into at the character section. It's a character.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we talked about this.
I think that character carries the entire show.
I think the thing about this story section we're discussing, right, is there isn't really a plot.
No, and that's kind of what gets me. I am very I like myself a lot of characters. I love the character study aspects of shows. Especially on a rewatch, I need a plot.
You say that like none of us like plot. Bitch, I watch One Piece. That has all of the plot.
Yeah, but you're also a bigger appreciator of T.H.E.
Yeah, I do really like T.H.E, and that's generally lighter. I don't necessarily need something to be heavy hitting or serious.
I don't need to be serious.
Involved in every single show.
I don't I love Konosuba. I've watched it and rewatched it a couple times actually, but it's just the way the show is framed gets kind of repetitive as time goes on. That's my problem. It's sort of repetitive.
Yeah, that's kind of what Otome games feel like if you play through them a couple times.
No, I just don't want to play any Otome games.
I would not recommend it. They are generally terrible.
Yeah.
So are we saying the show's generally terrible? I don't want to say that.
No, but Otome games are, because the whole goal of an Otome game is basically to memorize what phrases trigger which people, so that on each playthrough you can get different phrases to trigger different people, and you can achieve every single ending and get every single cutscene. So you're playing the game through, let's say there's 5 to 7 protagonists in each game. You're playing it through a minimum of 5 to 7 times, plus any secret routes, because there's usually one at least. And there's usually 3 endings per route, and you always want to try to get all 3 so that you can get the cutscene for every single thing. It's a collection thing. It's like a gacha game, but worse.
Yeah.
So I don't play Otomes anymore. I played one, and it was a bad decision. Actually, I did play that Japanese ripoff Harry Potter one that was on the PC like 7 or 8 years ago. Do not recommend. Snape was one of the routes available.
Oof.
For like a first-year student.
Look,
oh, God.
Yeah, Realm.
But yeah, I think my problems with this is probably the stuff it pulls directly from the Otome genre, but I also don't feel that justifies the issues.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It doesn't, but
I do think generally the story is the weakest part of the show, and that's just my thoughts here.
Yeah, this is pretty average, like what I've read. Most of the ones I like are the ones who kind of rip on to like Otome games for the fun of it, because that makes the show even more funnier and nicer to read. But yeah.
All right. Well, does anyone have anything else to say? Or are we ready to move on to characters and waifu wars?
Nah.
Try harder, everyone.